Hey everyone, it's Rachel from Daily Creations. In this video, we are going to go ahead and use the TeckWrap Heat Transfer Paper for dark and light fabrics. Really excited to use that, and we're also going to be using the heat transfer mask. And hallelujah, I'm glad that I got my hands on this because this makes such a huge difference, and you'll understand why here in a moment. All right, so before we open this, I do want to bring your attention to the fact that this is an A4 size, so it's slightly longer and narrower than your typical 8.5 by 11. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up. So in the pack, you get your printable vinyl, and then you also get some parchment paper, and then you get some instructions. So you just need a regular printer with regular ink, so you don't need any sublimation ink or anything of that nature. You can use your household iron, heat press, or you can use your mini press, which is what we will be using. You will understand why we're going to be using the mini press here in a little bit. And then you're just going to go ahead and print the image on the white side of the paper and cut the shape, and then you're going to weed out the excess part and use the heat transfer mask to transfer the image. And then if you're using the heat press, you want to use 155 degrees Celsius to 165 degrees Celsius or 310 to 330 Fahrenheit. And then you're going to peel off the mask, transfer, and then it's done. So some care instructions: you want to make sure that you wait 24 hours before wash, make sure it's inside out, cold water, and use machine wash using mild detergent. You don't want to bleach or use any aggressive cleaning agents. You cannot dry clean it, and you don't want to directly iron on the printable vinyl. Okay, so easy peasy. So let's go ahead and get into Design Space, and let's take a look at our design. All right, here is a shirt that I am making for my daughter. She has just discovered strawberries. She really hasn't liked strawberries for the longest time. It's all been about blueberries. And then we had her try a strawberry again just recently, and just try to venture out to different fruits. She's a blueberry and a banana girl, but has discovered strawberries, and she just loves strawberries now. So I thought it'd be cute to make her a shirt that says "Just a Girl Who Loves Strawberries." And then of course I found different types of strawberries. I actually think I have 4 different types of strawberries here, and then of course I used Canva to find the strawberries and then try to match the color with I forget which strawberry I used because I did this design a little while ago, but anyways, that's what I did, and I brought it into Design Space. And then what I did, I'm gonna go ahead and ungroup this here. Here's the 4 different strawberries, and I just made I think, let's see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sets of the 4 strawberries. So 20 strawberries. And you'll understand why I'm making a lot, because I'm actually going to put them all over her shirt. And I may have some left over. I may not. I don't know. I don't know how many strawberries I'm going to add to her shirt, but we will see. Now, here is why I'm going to love using the heat transfer mask, because if you don't use the heat transfer mask, each letter is going to print out or cut out separately, and then you're going to have to piece this together. Now, if you don't want to do that, another option is to create an offset. But I don't want to use the offset because why not? The TeckWrap has a heat transfer mask that's going to make life so much easier. Now with the strawberries, they're grouped together, but they're not attached to each other, just because I want to be able to place them anywhere I want on her shirt. So this, I may not use a heat transfer mask just because I don't want to use too much of it. I don't want to waste my heat transfer mask, especially I just want to be able to lay this anywhere. So we're going to also see how to use the printable iron-on without using the heat transfer mask, and how to use the heat transfer mask as well. Okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, make sure that you select your machine, which we're going to use the Joy Extra today. We're going to go ahead and click on Make, and then what it's going to do is it's going to try to fit everything into one page. Of course, it did not fit everything into one page, and that's quite all right. So we're going to have to use 2 pieces of iron-on vinyl. You're going to hit Continue and then hit Send to Printer. and you're going to select your printer. You want to make sure that you hit add bleed because that will allow more of an accurate cut. And then you're going to click on use system dialog, and then you're going to hit print. So this is going to bring up my system dialog of my printer, and this is where it's going to look a little different for you. Your printer may not be the same printer that I have. Your computer may be different from mine. So the settings or like the interface of it may be different, but you just want to make sure the settings are correct. So I just clicked on preferences and then clicked on Cricut because that's a preset that I already had defined when I got my printer. And I have the paper source. I have it coming from my rear tray. And then my document size, it's 8.5 by 11. That's just the default setting for the Cricut printable vinyl. I have to change it to A4 because that's the size of the paper. So again, it's a little bit more narrow and then longer. The A4 size is just ever so slightly. And then you want to make sure that you do paper type. You want to make sure it's premium, presentation, paper matte, and then the quality is set to high. So once you've made those settings, you're going to go ahead and hit OK and then hit print. So I'm going to go ahead and print everything and then we'll go from there. Okay, so again, we're going to use the Cricut Joy Extra. I have my first one printed, so I'm going to go ahead and place it onto my mat here. And I'm going to use my brayer tool because I don't want to use my hands in case I have lotion. I always wear lotion and I don't want to accidentally smudge the ink or anything of that nature. This is just a safer way of placing your vinyl on your mat. Okay, so we need to find the base material. So I'm going to go ahead and hit browse all material, and then I'm going to look for printable iron-on dark and hit done, just because I think that's going to be a good setting to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my machine. It's flashing, so it's telling me it's ready to be loaded. So I'm going to go ahead and load it into my machine. And then I will hit go on my computer because there's no buttons here to press go. Now that we have that all cut out, okay, so you just want to be careful as you're ironing it out because this is not a sticky sheet. So once it's peeled up, it's peeled up. It's not going to lay back down. So you kind of just want to be mindful of that. So I'm just going to be very careful. In fact, I'm okay with these being peeled up because we're going to do random placements for those. But what I'm not okay is the letters or the words. Like, I want that to stay down as best as possible. I got that weeded out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and carefully cut this. And here is, I'm going to see if I can actually peel up these strawberries one by one. And here's why. Prime real estate, guys. This is a lot of space to be wasted if I would try to peel up this whole thing. I'm going to get my heat transfer mask out. We're going to do the words first just because I want that to be centered. The strawberries can go anywhere, and I just want to make sure that I have the phrase, I should say, centered. So what I'm going to do is going to use my weeding tool here and to help me get started and just peel off that backing like so. Perfect. Okay, so then what I'm going to do to save material is to cut this down to size, and that way I can reuse this for another project. So now I'm going to go ahead and scrape this down. Let me move my scissors so I don't hurt myself. So then what I'll do is slowly peel this back, making sure that all the pieces stick, and then we're done with that, so we can discard the backer. And I think what we'll do is we will use our mini press, and I did medium setting. This is 100% cotton. Go ahead and gently peel this back, ensuring that everything is stuck down and it looks like it did a great job. I always like to feel around to make sure there's no lifting, and there isn't. Now, I can reuse this, but I think I want to show you guys that you can also use parchment paper, and this is given in that packet. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm not having a random, since I'm going to do random placement, I think I'm just going to use my parchment paper, so that way I don't have to worry about sticking it on there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply my mini heat press, and boom, done. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. In fact, actually, I need to bring my heat mat back up. Whoops. And let's go ahead and do the rest of the strawberries. All right, y'all, we are done. As you can see, I still have about 4 strawberries left over. I can most certainly, I was thinking about doing the sleeve and maybe add some to the back, but I think this is good for now. I might keep these strawberries and add it to a different shirt, but I think this is kind of cool. It created its own pattern on a blank shirt, and that transfer mask really worked really well for this. I mean, it just, as you can see, it took time to add each and every single one of them, and that's what you would have done if you didn't do an offset, to try pieces together and then also trying to keep it straight as possible. So make sure that you grab yourself the printable iron-on and that heat transfer mask to assist you in your needs of printing using the printable iron-on. All right, well, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and gained some inspiration. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.